Hey, everybody, and welcome to the Katie Weaver Show. This is Katie. I'm your host. I'm so happy to be here. If you are live, it is about 11:03 a.m. uh, on March 19th. If you're listening to an archive or a replay, I also want to welcome you to the show. I do need to apologize for my tardiness. I believe you know that I do work on the phone, and well, I was on the phone. So as much as I love you guys, sometimes, client care comes first. So, what can I say? I do the same for you. It's all good. But I'm glad to see you guys all here in the chat room and just happy to see you. Happy Ostara. Blessed Ostara. If you don't know, today is Ostara. It's a turn on the wheel. We're going to talk about it a bunch. I'm very excited for that. I woke up this morning thinking we have to be close to Ostara. I want to do uh, Luminous based on Ostara today if we're close enough. And I looked it up, and today is Ostara. So here we are. Yeah, yay, early spring. We'll take it. Oh, I want to let you know that we're over in the chat room, and you can find that by heading over to 12radio.com. Click on the chat button, and you'll be redirected into the Facebook chat, and you'll see my banner at the top of the page. Or you can just go over to Facebook and just search for the 12 Radio chat room. That's number one. Number two, that's our Facebook group, and I would be happy to see you over there. I do think we'll have some time for a few readings today. I see a couple of requests popping up already. So, yeah, that should work out. So, what's new? Are you sleeping? Are you sleeping? Because no one's sleeping at my house. This is like the third day that the dogs didn't sleep well. Scott and I didn't sleep well. Like, this energy is a little weird, and we're having some major solar flares. In the northern parts of the US tonight. Tomorrow night, they're supposed to be able to see the northern lights again. Pretty amazing. But yeah, but whenever that happens, what it also means is that we're getting solar flares that get some of us a little thrown off and screwed up. So I think that's probably why I just hopped over to see what the Schumann resonance is today. It's 28. So it's, you know, it's up, it's higher than the 7.83 it should be, but that's 28. It's not crazy. But I think when you combine that with solar flares, maybe that's where we get to this point where the energy just feels wild. So if you're feeling anxious, pissed off, snappy, grumpy, prickly, overwhelmed, unable to sleep, anxious, any of those things, then I'm going to tell you, I think it is a couple of these celestial things going on that's causing some of that. Yeah. I've talked to so many of you guys like the last 3 days that just go, what the hell is going on? What the hell's going on? And I'm not going to blame it on Ostara because it's not her fault. It simply can't be. But it is so nice here. Our snow is almost totally gone. So we're going to get snow again this weekend because that's how it goes. But for like, lots of big residual snow, it's just about gone, which is pretty cool. That makes me super happy. So, yay on that. This morning when I went out and fed my crows and called them in, so I have a crow call that's kind of like a duck call. That's what it looks like. But it's for crows. And I'd use the same routine every single time I feed the crows so that they know, what's going to happen. And it helps to keep the same routine. So every morning about 8:30, I walk outside to their feeder and I put the peanuts and the cat food in there that I feed them. And then I turn and I point my little crow call to the sky and I squawk it 3 times, 2 short blasts. So it's like, "Bah, bah," or caca, caca, caca. And they know. And as soon as they hear that, they start calling back and I'll start seeing them swoop. And And sometimes by the time I'm back to the front door, they're already in the feeder. Sometimes they sit in the trees and wait for me to go in before they get in the feeder. Uh, but this morning, when I blew the call, about five of these little blackbirds descended into the tree right above me. And they were just sitting there waiting their turn. And then my crows came in, like, I don't know what you two think you guys think you're doing, but no. But actually, it does kind of end up like a line because the crows come in to eat. I have several magpies that come too when they hear the call. Then all these little blackbirds, and then a neighbor cat who always wants to come and get in on it too, which really pisses the crows off. But at any rate, it just cracked me up this morning to see all those little birds come flying in, like, okay, we know what this means. That's right. Yeah, a lot of you guys. Let's see. Oh, Laurie only got 4 hours of sleep because she woke up with a tummy ache. Laurie, dang it. Pamela said, is cranky. Laurie's cranky. Suzanne said anxious and edgy. But I've really noticed it. In my Scorpios. Scott and Mars have both been cranky as hell the last couple of days, and I'm like, why is I almost messaged Kelly and said, okay, tell me why Scorpio is a hot mess. But then I thought it's not really just Scorpio though. Everybody's feeling it. Hey Norella, good to see you. Okay. Oh, Jessica's sleeping all day and up all night, so she's backwards. Oh gosh. Okay. Oh geez. Sherry said a book fell off my shelf at 2:30 a.m. and scared the crap out of me. I didn't sleep well the night before either. Oh yikes. Yep. Yep. Sid said I was a lifelong morning lark. These past few years, I feel like I'm living in a different time zone that's 3 hours off. That is the story of Scott's life. He is in a time zone that is not ours. I don't know why, but his body will not go to sleep until 2 or 3. It just won't. And so it's better if he plans his schedule around staying up that late and working on his projects and stuff and sleeping until 10 or 11. That's just how his body works. And he's tried many times to change that and be on a more like traditional sleep schedule. And it's just not what he does. It's not what his body does. Yeah. Good question, Lillian. What was the title of the book? Did it belong to anyone deceased? Very good question. Who did it? Who the hell did that? Yes. Jane said Scott and she are on the same schedule. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot to be said for your biorhythms, and that unfortunately, like in our society, typically, if you are an 8 to 5er, it just doesn't matter. My poor Micah has to be up. He has to be at work by 6, and he has to pick up a coworker that lives a ways from him, and so he's up by 4:30. Oh, I can't fathom it. No. Oh, Suzanne's been up with her pups since 5:15 this morning on her fourth cup of coffee. I'll bet. Right? We're not cookie cutter people. Oh, Sherry said it was a book of stones that fell off. Oh, well, message received, right? I am dying to take a drive. Which is crazy because, as you know, I was in Tucson 2 weeks ago and did two 16-hour drives. I Rides. Let's say rides, to be fair to the people who actually drove. But I was thinking today, I just want to go. You know where I want to go? West Yellowstone. Why? I don't even know. I just feel really drawn to go up there. I was feeling it this morning. I have tons of stuff to do. Really not doing that today, but that is where my heart wants to go today is West Yellowstone. And just West Yellowstone because the park's not open yet by any stretch. I mean, they still have a ton of snow up there. So why would I want to go there? Why? I don't know. I get called by land though. Do you guys get called by land? That's one constant for me. I'll feel very called by the mountains around my house or by this place that's called the Warm Slough, not too far from my house where you go to be We camp there, go be around the river there, stuff like that. Yeah. Hey, Evelyn. Well, I mean, they're not pet crows per se, but they are my BFFs. Thanks, Shell. It's been a very gratifying journey. We drive around here and I yell my address out the window at the crows because I want more. Yeah. Oh, Quelly said her husband is a Scorpio rising. He threw his back out this weekend and has not been sleeping well. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. Oh, I agree. Daylight savings messes me up every year. It's weird. It's only an hour. Why should it be that impactful? But it is. Yeah. Out. Jane needs to drive too. Suzanne said she's also called by places. Lillian came to Yellowstone when she was 15 with her parents. Best trip ever, right? I can't wait for the park to open. I mean, I'm months ahead of the game right now. But I'm already thinking about the bears coming out of hibernation and all the red dogs that's the baby bison being born, and I'm going to tear it up in Yellowstone this year. I can see it already. Okay. Morena is sleeping good. You know, you've had a long last week. Okay. Let's get into Luminous. I know. The hard part is if I like say let's take a drive, we'll take a drive because we both love to go out, but I feel like we have to like adult right now and do some of the finish some projects, do the grown-up things that we were planning on doing. Uh but I would love to throw caution to the wind and go get in the car. I would. Maybe a quick drive, right? Just out to the warm slough. 30 minutes? Okay, maybe so. You want to know what sucks? Instead of that, I have to go to Walmart. Walmart, for God's sake. Who wants to do that? We don't have in my town anymore. Walmart's all we have, except for grocery stores. I mean, we have like a Walgreens and a few things like that, but we don't like as far as big box stores. Walmart's all we have, and I would rather pull out all my eyelashes than have to go to Walmart. But that's what we have. So they're really not really problems, are they? But pathetic. Okay, let's move on to Luminous. Um, I put links in the chat rooms. If you haven't, you may have already received it in your email this morning. But thank you. Red and Dunn said, very pretty cover. Thank you so much. I love that. I've been designing a whole bunch of Easter eggs lately of like with different scenes and designs and stuff on them. And I really loved this one. It had to be. Okay. Well, I did call this edition the Blessed Ostara edition for good reason, obviously. So, Ostara is a time to celebrate the divine feminine energies of fertility, nurturing, and creation. I think we can get our heads around that. So, my musings this week are some suggestions of ways to celebrate Ostara or to embrace Ostara. I don't know about you guys. I do know, though. We've talked about this lots of times, and that you guys, some of you are like me. When there is a turn of the wheel, you feel very compelled towards or pushed to do some kind of ceremony, some kind of marking that something. No wonder I feel like I need to get out and take a drive today, actually. Probably Ostara calling my name. Uh, so, here are some suggestions of things that you could do to celebrate or to mark Ostara. Now, today's Ostara, but that doesn't mean you have to do things today. I think frequently we get kind of lost in that, Ostara is just starting. This is Ostara today, just starting. Do something this weekend, do something tomorrow, do something when it works for you. But don't feel like if you don't do something today on this day that you've like missed out. That's bananas. All right. Especially because the first suggestion we have here is to welcome the dawn. And I don't know about you guys, but I didn't do that. Actually, it sounds like Suzanne did. Suzanne, you can thank those dogs of yours. They really woke you up to celebrate Ostara this morning. Welcome the dawn. Begin your Ostara celebration by greeting the dawn. Rise early and witness the sunrise, connecting with the returning light and energy of the sun. And that's why. To get up early, watch the sun come up, be a part of that energy. Decorate with symbols of spring. Deck your home with symbols of spring, such as flowers, eggs, and rabbits. Of course, they're all pagan symbols. Eggs are potent symbols of fertility and new beginnings. I highly recommend that you blow your eggs out. Have you ever done this? You poke a hole in the top of the egg, and then you poke a hole in the bottom, and poke it, you know, decently sized, or you'll blow your own brains out trying to blow the egg out. And then reach in there and break the yolk. If you can get in there with a skewer stick or something and kind of stir around so you can break the yolk, it's a lot easier to blow out. And then over a dish, just put, your mouth over the top of the egg and blow, and you'll blow the contents out the bottom. Be gentle so that you don't break your shell, and then rinse it out with water as best you can. You can kind of get some water in there and shake it a little bit and let it drain out the bottom, and then let those dry. And then you have your egg shells to decorate versus eggs that aren't going to last. I really like to do that. And then take rose petals, and you can take rose petals and soak them in Elmer's glue or in glitter glue. And they get they feel kind of like putty almost. They're fragile. You have to be super careful and gentle. And then you can just start fitting them around your egg. And it'll take a few layers to really fully cover your egg, but you can do that and then let it dry. And then you have this beautiful egg with flower petals on it. What a great way to mark Ostara. And then you tie a ribbon around it if you want to. Tie a pink ribbon around the center of it. Tying the ribbon and tying the knot is another way to tie in your blessings. That's how I like to do it. But my design skills are great, but my painting skills are not existent. So I wish I could paint on eggs the way I see other people do these amazing things. That's not my jam, but I hope it's yours because it's so cool. But that's how you blow out an egg if you've ever wondered. It's a good way to have some eggs to decorate without them being gross. Okay. Plant seeds of intentions. I love this. This is my tip this week too, so we'll get into it a little bit more. But it's time to start your seeds if you do that. And so go pick up some wildflower seeds or other flower seeds or hell, some vegetable seeds, whatever you want, and start those now. Take some time to reflect on your goals and your aspirations for the months ahead. Write them down and bury them with your seeds. So put them towards the bottom. And or you can put them near your seedlings, but you can actually put your intentions right in the soil. And then as you are nurturing those intentions, you're also nurturing those seeds, and as they're blossoming and blooming, then so are your intentions. I love intention seeding. I think that's really cool. It's a fun activity. I've done that lots of times. Now, what happens? What happens if your seeds die? What if those what if those seedlings conk out on you? That doesn't mean that your dreams die. We just thank them for trying and move forward, right? Okay. Feast on seasonal fare. This is a great time. And most of the turns of the wheel are associated with food in some way. Fresh seasonal ingredients, if that is possible where you are. I have not much. I have some sprouts. Scott's got sprouts in the mushroom tent. We have honey from our bees. That's about all I have that's local currently. Well, except for potatoes. I have local potatoes, of course, but leafy greens. In some places, you've already got leafy greens coming up. Eggs, if you have hens or you have somebody local you can get eggs from, you can get local that way too. But eating fresh and local is, and putting together a meal such as that is a great way to mark Ostara. Now, of course, you could bake a traditional hot cross bun if you want to research the history of hot cross buns and what they stand for. I don't know if you will, but you could. All right, connect with nature. Obviously, get thyself outside. Now, remember, there's no bad weather, just bad clothing. Bundle up if you must, but get outside. Get some vitamin D today. Get some fresh air. Perform rituals of renewal. This, along with the summer or the spring equinox that's coming up, are both times that we celebrate renewal and rebirth. So, rituals that mark the turning of the season. You can light candles. You definitely should clear your space. So, do a smudging or any other kind of like energy clearing that you like to do. This is a good way to also do some spring cleaning, do some decluttering. Fill at least a trash bag, right? Do some decluttering. That always helps. Honor the divine feminine. Of course, this is a potent time to honor the divine feminine, the fertility of such. So, goddesses such as Ostara or Esotre, Persephone, create a sacred space dedicated to the divine feminine. So, you could make a little altar and put any symbols of femininity, flowers, crystals, sacred images, effigies, anything else that resonates with you, photographs of people that you want to be involved in that. You decide. Share joy and gratitude, for sure, as always, but find some ways to celebrate the magic of early spring. This is a really special time. This is where things under the earth are starting to wake up. This is a time where a lot of animals are already starting to bring new life, where the farmers are already out calving and having their little goats born and little sheep born, and birds are already starting to consider laying eggs. It's all happening. It's a good time to celebrate that. Okay. So, Kelly, we talked about this last week, but just as a reminder, she has taken a step back from Bitch Scopes and is bringing us instead. This is a podcast that she does with Lisa. If you guys don't know who Lisa is, go listen to Kelly's podcast. You will fall in love with her. She's hysterical, incredibly smart. These two together are such a great combo. And they're calling it Refeminist History. And they're basically doing an episode a week on women in history that haven't, who need their whole story told. Badass women who were left out of the history books is what she calls it. So last week she covered Detectives and Monsters Part 1. This is Detectives and Monsters Part 2, Monsters in Hollywood. Mm, yep. So she's talking about a badass woman named Millicent Patrick. So you can read her article about Millicent and then also listen to her podcast about her. But love it. Love it. Love it. I love that Kelly is always looking for ways to help women to shine, help women to show up. Her entire campaign to take back the word bitch, even though she got some pretty good pushback from people that were offended by the term. And she said, no, that's our word. We're taking it back. Hell yeah. I'm all about it. Okay, plant seeds of appreciation for you. This is my tip this week. So you can follow the directions there, but essentially it's the same as what was suggested above, really, that we just Bless your seeds with gratitude and bless them with your dreams, with your goals, and then plant them and then nurture the hell out of them. All right. The energy exercise from Christy this week is a journey through the chakras. Great way to get yourself balanced, especially if you are a bit out of sorts currently. I mean, there's a lot going on over at True Crime Squad. A lot. The Chad Daybell trial starts on April 1st. On April Fool's Day, which, I don't know about you guys, but that tracks for me. But so, as you know, with my true crime work, the Vallow Daybell trials and cases have taken a lot of my time, energy, sanity. So finally, we are finally going to see Chad at trial. That's going to take an enormous amount of my attention in April and May, but I think I can balance it all. But that's coming right up. So, yay. All right. Anita brings us the nature fairies. You can read about what she has to say about that. I believe in fairies. How about you guys? I believe in elementals. I've seen a lot of elementals, various different kinds in different places, but I believe in fairies. Jamie Dawn brings us a video about being ready to manifest. And as you know, Jamie's come back to 1-2 Radio. So hopefully you've had a chance to listen to her there as well. I have a couple of new meditations over at Planet Meditation, but there's more than 100 there to choose from. So you should be able to find a good meditation for yourself. And if not a meditation, just lots of easy listening, you should be able to find something over there that resonates with your soul. And that's it. That is Luminous this week. So I'm curious to know if any of you celebrate Ostara typically and what you do. Yeah. Terry said, I did just see that Yellowstone was having a lot of flooding right now. Maybe that's why you're called to go to Yellowstone. Well, maybe so. Well, oh, I muted. I muted to sneeze and then I couldn't come back because I needed to sneeze again. Interesting. Well, yeah, we are really melting right now and melting fast. So, not surprised about that. Yellowstone's flooded really bad the last few years, actually. But I just hope they got enough snow. We didn't get a lot of snow this year. So I don't know. I'm hoping the mountains got a lot more than we did, but I don't really think they did. I mean, we've had snow, but up in that area, they can get 6, 8 feet. And I don't think they got that this year, which, we always need the water. So it's always a conversation about did we get enough precipitation? I suspect this year we did not. But Joni said, great reminder with blowing out the eggs. I haven't thought of that in a long time. Tradition with my mother who passed long ago. I'll share it with my daughter. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, Tiffany decorated her front porch, dining room, and living room. I love it. Oh, Geraldine said, same there, except for they have a Home Depot. Oh, yeah. We don't even have that. Oh, Shell said she's called by land a lot, but she's in Florida, so the beach is big for her. Evelyn, could you please tell me when I'm back to singing in church and at St. Blaise or Mike's? Okay, Evelyn, let's take a look. I actually feel like that could be in April at St. Blaise. That's not very far off. That's coming soon. I feel like some needs around the holiday season actually is what's going to call you back. Interesting. Well, I will hold space for you that it is the best thing and the right thing so that you get what you need. All right, Tiff, if you're doing readings today, do you see me getting approved for a credit card debt consolidation loan? So far, all have denied me, or perhaps let go and file for bankruptcy. Ugh, really trying to move forward in my life. Let's feel into both. The debt consolidation loan does not seem to be coming. Um, it has to do with income versus debt. Honestly, Tiffany, because of all of the medical struggles you've had, my gut feeling is bankruptcy might actually be the right path forward. That you should definitely weigh it out. Uh, you know, talk to your significant other about it. Maybe even consult with an attorney. But I feel like that might actually be the right path to get you reset. I mean, you've had a lot of challenges that, and also been a caregiver for so long for others. I feel like you have just been doing the best you can for a long time, and maybe it's time to just get some freedom from that. So, yep, I wouldn't completely turn that back. Okay, Shell would love a reading. Let's pull some cards. Honestly, if you have a direct question for me, you probably won't pull a card. But if you just want a general, I'm probably going to, because on the radio, we don't have a lot of time and we're not directly interfacing. And so it makes more sense. Okay. Alrighty, Shell. I'm just going to pull three cards for you. So we'll call it a what do we need to know and how do we need to get there? Tell us where to go and how to get there. That's what we're asking. Okay. So the main card is the material harvest card, which always indicates to me that things are okay, and that you can sink into that. Usually that means too that it's a good manifesting time. So when good manifesting energy like that comes up, a few things come forward for me. One is that you may consider just is it time to ask for a raise? Is it time to take a look at the rest of your finances and reevaluate, reestablish? Sometimes that's the case. But when it's manifesting time, it's a good time to take a look at your finances and decide if you are happy with where you're at. If there's any changes you want to make, this is the time for it. And that takes us to a more practical side where at least once a year, you should take a hard look at your subscription services and make sure that you still need or want all of them. You should take a look at your cell phone plan and make sure you're getting the best plan, the best price, the best rates. You should take a look at cable TV if you have it and decide if that's, you're getting the best rate there. Your car insurance, you should reevaluate once a year. What happens is that we get very comfortable, right, with what we're paying. And so we never question it. And as consumers, that's the industries that we pay into and all the things that we have and we do, they count on that. And so they may have dropped their rates a lot on certain things that you're not benefiting from because you're not asking for it or taking a look. So, whenever a good manifesting card like that comes up, the material harvest card, I always think it's a good time to go, good time to take a look. Make sure that you aren't getting screwed anywhere. Okay, the other card that came up is the authority card. And this is you. This card cracks me up. I know you're not in the live stream, but I'm going to show it anyway. Uh, because it's this big, thick man with a big, thick neck. And he's standing there with his arms crossed around over his chest. Here's the authority, right? So this card pisses me off because I'm like, who the hell is this guy? And what does he think he's telling me? But actually, Michelle, in this case, the authority card is you. It's a real invitation for you to be the authority in your life and trust yourself and make decisions that work for you and are right for you. The empath in you likes to sometimes make decisions that aren't that good for you in an attempt to be good to other people. And there's a reminder right here that you have to take care of you. And it doesn't mean that you have to screw everybody around you over, but it does mean that you need to make sure that your needs are met. And sometimes that means making some changes that are right for you that may not be right for others around you, but you got to be loyal to you. And then the last card is the moving on card. And this card to me typically means that you might be deciding to end something, change something, walk away from something. This doesn't feel negative to me at all. It feels to me like it leans back on that authority card, that maybe something in your world is really not good for you and it's time for you to recognize it and move away from it in some way. That could be a person, it can be a job, it could be a habit, it could be a thought process. It could be a game on your cell phone, for God's sake. I mean, it could be a lot of things, right? You decide what that is for you. Okay. Just going to update the chat here. Hey, Karen. Chris said she's reclaimed a certain C word. Me too. Me too. That word does not offend me at all. Honestly, I love it with you guys when you call me over at 1-2 Listen and you'll swear and then you're like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry for my language. Why though? Say what you need to say. I'm all about it. You can call me and use the F word or the C word or the whatever word. I don't care. You will never offend me with language. Never. Okay. Norella said, I recently had a fall that has lots of residual pain. Can you scan that if you're doing so? Yeah, absolutely. Let's take a look. And I'm so sorry that you had a fall. Dang it. I don't like hearing that. Neither do you, right? I'm sure. Really, the thing that comes up for me is bone bruise or bone injuries. Bone bruise is what I'm hearing, but I think there might have been some bone injuries here. I know you've had medical care. Uh, I do feel like that pain's going to continue to slowly lift, but it is what you did was painful. Yeah. So yes, I feel like it's going to get better. Yeah, I do feel like it's going to take some time. And if you haven't already, I would just double check with your doctor that there's nothing else that you need to know about that injury. But I'm so sorry, dang it. That sucks. Oh, yeah. So one thing I'm hearing is to make sure that you are employing the use of heat and cold, that you're alternating heat and cold occasionally on your injuries. The way you do that, we do this all wrong and it doesn't help us. They need to be in succession, but also 20 minutes of each. That's all. If you're icing something for a lot longer than that, you could actually be doing damage to your tissues. Uh, and you're going to get all the benefits you're going to get in about 20 minutes. So 20 minutes of each every so often, but you'll get the most benefits by doing both, alternating heat and cold. So, cold pack for 20 minutes, a heat pack for 20 minutes or whatnot, but uh, not more. That also makes that more doable, I think. Okay. Pamela would love an energy clearing. Absolutely. She said she's very grumped, so we're going to take care of you. Okay. All right. You have quite the case of spring fever, uh, meaning that your whole energy body is moving slow and fighting against itself. You we got to dust off the cobwebs. Yeah. So I'm going to start at your feet and command a Merkaba clearing, commanding billions of many points of light to flood your system now, completely healing, clearing, and releasing any and all residual energy from the wintertime, any energy that's not yours, anything that could be stagnating, holding you back, holding you down, contributing to feeling unwell, tired, grouchy, anxious, or overall not like yourself, and any other energetic influence that could be contributing to you not living your best life now, commanding these frequencies to be healed and cleared and rendered neutral and inert in all directions of time now, through every cell of your physical body, every layer of your emotional body, and every fiber of your spirit body now. Okay, just watching that move through you. Good. I just feel like we're dusting off layers of cobwebs, just breaking you loose. All right, up through your sacral and into your solar plexus, and on up into your heart. There's some grief and regret sitting in your heart that needed to clear, so I'm going to let that move out of you. Up through your high heart, you have a billion little cords up in your high heart. These are where you just get little attachments from other people that need something from you, and it gets heavy. They're not negative per se. It's just, at some point you need to just restore your energy to yourself. So I'm going to just heal those with love and return them and heal that spot up. Good. Even though a lot of what I'm doing here, I'm feeling a lot of clearing moving up through your small back and clear up through your shoulders. A lot of tension in your back and shoulders. We're shifting some of that out. Okay. When was the last time you had a massage, my friend? You could use one. Okay. Clearing out that throat. Good. And up through your third eye and your crown. Good. I'm going to clear your aura real quick. This is condensed. This is a Merkaba clearing that I offer over at One Two Listen, and it's usually a 15-minute TBS. But so this is condensed work, but still, we could get a lot done. Okay, I'm going to go back to your feet and command a Merkaba blessing, commanding billions of many points of light to flood your system now, completely shifting your frequency to a place of light, to a place of peace, to a place of joy, to a place of balance, and to a deep inner knowing that all is well, commanding these frequencies to shift through every cell of your physical body, every layer of your emotional body, and every fiber of your spirit body now. Okay. Watching that. And always blessing work is much, much faster than clearing work. Good. Okay, Pamela. That's a big piece of work. Drink water. Rest. Take care of yourself. Okay, Jane said, I'm debating buying a little 2013 Ford Transit Connect van. Wondering if you get a yes or a no. It actually feels really positive, Jane. It feels a little bit iffy in the details of making it happen, but as far as whether you should or you shouldn't, it actually feels really positive that you would get a lot of enjoyment out of it. Okay. Just looking through the chat really quick. Marina said her apartment is too dry. Her hair and scalp are constantly screaming. Oh boy. Can you use a humidifier? Can you do something like that in there to help I mean, you're in a fairly humid place, aren't you? But still, I feel that though. I mean, where I live is peel your skin off dry, so I get that entirely. But yeah, I would definitely consider humidifying if you can. Let's see. Sherry would love a card pulled for the day in general. Pamela said, thank you times 100. I got chills. I always forget about the cards. Much appreciated. So, very much my honor. Absolutely. JR, should I go back on meds for anxiety meds? I would chat with your doctor about that, but my gut feeling is that yes, you should. That you should talk to your doctor about dosage to, and make sure it's exactly what your body needs and wants. But my gut feeling is that you'd get a lot more done if you did. And just feel better in general. Okay. All right. This is for Sherry. Sherry, the card is emotional loss. And so for me, when, this card comes up, sometimes it's just about grief, an old grief coming up. Sometimes it's different than that. I wonder what is nagging at you right now that maybe you need a little bit of help with. Actually, I really want to just clear out your heart chakra if that's okay. Okay, I think I'll go ahead and do it. I'm going to just clear out your heart. It feels to me like this is more about some old grief coming up over some of your relationships that have changed over the years, friendships, and maybe some familial connections too. But yeah, okay, she says yes. All right, let's just move through your heart then and do a good clearing. Who has the sore jaw today on the right side? I mean, this is my problem side too, but I wasn't hurting before the show. And since I started working with a bunch of you guys, my jaw's killing me. Who is it? You don't have to admit it if you don't want to. It's not you, Sherry, I don't think, but somebody's getting me right there. All right. So I'm just went deep into your heart and I'm just really pushing forward and pushing out anything that needs to go. The message I'm hearing for you, Sherry, is to not take other people changing too serious or too personally. Sometimes people just change and their needs change and their connections change, and it's not anything that you did wrong or different, could have done differently. It's just the way someone else changed for whatever that's worth. Okay, I'm going to call in the ethereal crystal manganocalcite, and I'm going to press that into your heart to help process whatever wants to come up here. Good. Okay. All righty, miss. There you go. Okay. Lorena. I'm going to stick with one card now because I've got several more requests. And I would really like to get to all of you guys if I can. And Marina, I know what you need is just a little bit of focus and hope and help. Okay, the card is shadow. So, good indication to you right now that you're in a bit of a battle between both sides of you. I think that shadow part of you would like to be a little pissed off about the situation that you are in right now. And I think actually you should let yourself go there for a minute. There's nothing wrong with feeling your feelings. And I feel like there's some anger and betrayal and frustration in you right now that needs to be expressed. And that you would feel better if you did. So, for what it's worth, maybe speak some things out or write some things down or go throw some rocks in the river. But uh, in some way, express your frustration. You should be frustrated. Once you do that, you can kind of release yourself from it and move forward. Yeah. Okay, read and done. Having a tough few weeks. Can I have a card if you have time? You sure can. Okay, while I'm shuffling, Sid said, I've always wondered, does it make it easier to do body scans and moving healing energy if you move your head? For apparently it does. I don't even know why I do that, but yes. Well, yeah, because essentially my energies commingling with yours, and that's how I'm moving the energies, moving myself. I know. It's funny, and it always is counterclockwise, which is no, it's clockwise. It's always clockwise. Anyway, I know. I used to really hate that I have to move to work. But that's just how it is. So there you go. Okay, read and done. And I'm sorry that you're struggling. Okay, the card is truth. It comes up for me a couple of things on that. I mean, one is that I feel like you've had some shitheads in your world, right? You've had some people that have taken advantage, that have maybe not even taken advantage, but just have not treated you right. And I feel like that is really smacking right now. It might not even be current, but I feel like there is some energy here of you having been done wrong. And that truth card is really powerful, I think, because it helps to bring forward the truth of what the whole situation actually is. Because what's true is that it was always about them. It was always about their issues. It was always about their lack of ability to be kind or to be honest in the first place. But there's some pretty good hurt in you from that. And I think also people that just haven't operated with you in integrity, and you know that, and it really bothers you. I think that you are a very integral person. You act in with integrity, you speak with integrity. It's very frustrating when other people don't. Okay, Shar, I want to get to you real quick here. Let's see. We're going to totally run out of time in just a minute. While I'm shuffling, I want to remind you guys that I am a professional psychic advisor over at 12listen.com. That's number one, number two, listen.com. And I'm over there every day. You can always come over and get a reading, a healing, animal communication, mediumship, a shot in the arm, a kick in the butt, whatever you need. I am there to help you out. And if you want a Merkaba clearing, I've done several of those on the show recently. If you just go to my profile over there at 12listen, you can see my time-based sessions, and that's where you would get that in a time-based session. I mean, we could do it anyway, but if you wanted to just buy a Merkaba clearing and just get a good clearing to get you, straightened out for spring, you can just do that, or anytime. Just buy the Merkaba clearing, and when you call in, the system will process that 15-minute TBS. Tell me that was what it was for, because I don't see it. It's kind of a silly thing because we sell, these TBSs, and then when you call, I don't know what it was for. So you do have to tell me that's why you were, what you initiated that service for, and I'll get right on it gladly. All right, two cards for you, Shar, and the cards are Choose wisely and triumph. So, some good here. I feel like choose wisely, though, is a huge warning for you because I feel like you tend to be fairly impulsive and sometimes that really bites you. There's a real warning for you this whole month to really stand back, make choices that make sense for your goals, for the things that you need and want in your life, and don't be too impulsive. Also, really hesitate to do something just because someone else thinks that you should. I feel like you personally have a lot of people around you with agendas that are different than yours. So weigh that out and really, but don't, no big purchases that you haven't really like slept on and thought hard about. Not saying you can't do it, just make sure that you're doing the things that check your boxes. That triumph card, too, though, tells me that if you can do that, really, you're looking at a good month ahead. So I like it. I feel like there's a lot of good here, but move slow. Just move slow. All right, you guys, you know what we've done. We have talked down to the end of the show. I love to have you guys here. I appreciate you very much. I want to let you know I'll be back next week, same place, same time, all the good stuff. And I appreciate you guys a lot. Thanks for being a part of my world. I always appreciate you. This has been yet another production of The Katie Weaver Show here on 1 2 Radio, where we're changing the way you listen to the world.